Hello children. In today's session, let us learn the arrangement of tissues in the root and in the stem as well as in the leaf. Taking general account, it is given under the heading the tissue system. Tissue system broadly classified into three parts. Epidermal tissue system is representing outermost protective layer. Ground tissue system representing peripheral storage layers, and vascular tissue system representing conducting region, including vascular bundles, that is hilum and phloem. Coming to first, epidermal tissue system, it is usually represented by single layer of rectangular shaped, compactly arranged parenchyma cells. It is a general statement for epidermal tissue system and it is derivative of protoderm. Protoderm is meristem, which will give rise epidermal tissue system. Coming to the root, outermost layer, where the cells are thin-walled, having unicellular outgrowths called root hairs. Hence, the outermost layer of the root is known as epiblema due to thin-walled cells. There is no cuticle present. The root hairs are helping in anchorage as well as efficient water absorption. This epiblema is provided with root hairs, hence it is also called as piliferous layer. In the dicot stem and in dicot leaf, epidermis, outermost layer, protected by cuticle. Cutin is a deposition on the cell wall region for extra protection. The epidermal layer of dicot stem, dicot leaf showing multicellular outgrowths called stem hairs, and they are known as trichomes. They are mainly for protection. In monocot stem and in monocot leaf, single layer of epidermis protected by cuticle, but you don't find trichomes here. In the leaf of monocot and dicot, epidermal layer having modified guard cells. They enclose minute openings. These are called stomata. When the guard cells are becoming turgid, stoma opens. This is during daytime. It allows gaseous exchange and through which transpiration occur. That we are learning in physiological aspects under Unit 4. So presence of stomata are found in herbaceous epidermal layer of the stem and in the leaf area, either on upper side or on lower side or on both sides. Coming to second region of tissue system, it is ground tissue system. It is having hypodermis, cortex, endodermis and pericycle. In monocot stem, below epidermis, hypodermis is sclerenchymatous, while in dicot stem, below epidermis, hypodermis is collenchymatous. So either sclerenchyma or collenchyma, hypodermis region is for mechanical support. In the root, there is no hypodermis, because roots are supported by the soil layers. The next region of ground tissue system is multi-layered parenchymatous region with lots of intercellular spaces. It is known as cortex. In the root, cortex helps in radial conduction of absorbed water, also helping in increasing the root pressure, which will influence ascent of sap. While in dicot stem, cortex stores starch granules. In monocot stem, we don't find these differentiated layers. The entire region is known as ground tissue. In the leaf, the middle portion is called mesophyll. It is definitely chlorenchymatous, either palisade where the cells are elongated and compactly arranged, or spongy where the cells are spherical and loosely arranged. Endodermis is innermost layer and outer boundary of the stele. This endodermis is represented by single layer of compactly arranged barrel-shaped parenchyma cells. In both dicot and monocot root, in the endodermis, some cells are deposited with suberin, which is impervious to water, and some cells are non-suberized. So here suberized cells are called Casparian band cells and non-suberized cells are called passage cells. So fine movement of the water during radial conduction occur through passage cells, and because of suberized cells, as it is not allowing radial conduction, naturally in the cortex region root pressure increases and it will help in passive radial conduction, that is apoplast. Coming to the next layer of ground tissue system, pericycle. Pericycle in dicot stem is represented by sclerenchymatous fibers. This is giving strong support to internal vascular system. It is arranged in the form of bundles, and these are called vascular bundles having xylem and phloem. Look at this diagrammatic view. This outermost layer we call epidermis. Second layer is hypodermis. Third layer is cortex. Fourth layer is endodermis. Okay, and this region we call stele. Okay, outer boundary of the stele. It is usually dead, known as, even it is made up of parenchyma called as pericycle, and inside we can see arrangement of xylem and phloem, X for xylem, P for phloem. Now this arrangement is typical in the root and in the stem. Coming to the third category, that is vascular tissue system. It is represented by vascular bundles. It comprises water conducting xylem and food conducting phloem. So complex permanent tissues representing vascular tissue system, and it is derivative of procambium. Procambium is a meristem which will differentiate into vascular tissue system. Now these vascular bundles are said to be radial. VB stands for vascular bundle. Radial vascular bundles we found in the root. It may be dicot or monocot. Consider this is the stele part, means this middle portion. This is a xylem, okay, and the other, it is phloem. Okay, so P for phloem and Z for X for xylem. Here if you see, xylem and phloem are arranged on different radii, hence it is called as radial vascular bundle. It is found in the root. Coming to next, it is conjoint collateral vascular bundle. In this conjoint collateral vascular bundle, there are again two categories: open and closed. Conjoint collateral open bundles, they are found in dicot stem, while conjoint collateral closed bundles are found in monocot stem. Now consider this is the stele part. This is vascular bundle. Clear? So in this vascular bundle, this is xylem, this is cambium, and this is phloem. Between xylem and phloem there is a cambium, so it is open type. While in monocot, this is vascular bundle, xylem, phloem. Here you don't find cambium. So these bundles are called closed bundles. Depending upon the number of vascular bundles, there are 4 to 6 vascular bundles are present in dicot and many vascular bundles are present in monocot. Coming to third category. Third category is of it is concentric vascular bundle. These are usually found in the aquatic plants. Here, see the diagrammatic representation. Xylem in the center, surrounded by phloem. There is one more condition, opposite. Phloem in the center, xylem is surrounding. This is called amphicribal, and this we call amphivessel. Amphicribal are called endoxylic or hydrocentric. Amphivessel are said to be endofloic or exoxylic. Here one vascular tissue is surrounded by the other. Hence, it is concentric vascular bundle. They are called amphicribal and here it is amphivessel. Coming to one more, number 4, it is bicollateral vascular bundles. In this vascular bundle, xylem is in the center. Both sides there is a cambium, so it is open type, and on either side of cambium there is a phloem. So here xylem is sandwiched between phloem patch separated by cambium, so it is always open. As per our syllabus, you have to remember radial vascular bundle, conjoint collateral vascular bundle. So in this session you have learnt about the tissue system. It is general arrangement of the tissues comprising parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. These 3 are simple tissues along with xylem and phloem, which are the complex conducting or vascular tissues. 3 tissue systems: epidermal tissue system, ground tissue system, vascular tissue system. Epidermal tissue system, parenchymatous. Ground tissue system will have mixture either collenchyma, sclerenchyma, but majority is parenchymatous tissue, while vascular tissue system is represented by vascular bundles. Hope at least you need to remember 3 headings under tissue system. With this, I'll conclude this session. Thank you.